And now to the new benefit for striking workers in Washington. The state has so far paid out 50, 565,700 plus dollars in unemployment benefits to workers during labor disputes. That was from the beginning of this year through last week, August the 5th. Those were the most recent numbers I could get from the Employment Security Department. And they told me that was 151 different individuals, union employees who walked off the job trying to get a better contract, for 741 weeks in all, unique weeks that have been paid. So again, that's about 565 700 dollars, $565,700. So not an insignificant amount of money going out from the unemployment insurance fund. Now, no Republicans in Olympia supported this legislation when it passed year before last, not a single one. And their concern at the time was, wait a minute, unemployment insurance is supposed to be for people who, get laid off through no fault of their own or suddenly out of a job and, need some money to buy groceries and maybe make the rent payment. Shouldn't be, they argued, for union employees who decide to walk off the job because they want a better contract. But that's how it's working. And of course, with majority Democrats, firmly having the numbers to push this legislation through, it was passed and then took effect the first of this year. The concern here is there could be a lot more workers soon tapping into this fund. We've got striking workers right now at Hilton's Embassy Suites in Seattle and Pioneer Square. You may recall they walked off the job just before the first World Cup matches in Seattle. Kind of bad timing for the hotel, but that's maybe why they did it, to get some attention to it. And so now those workers have been off the job for more than 7 weeks. And so we could have many more employees tapping into on strike, tapping into unemployment insurance benefits in the coming weeks. I asked Employment Security today, can you tell me if these employees have indeed, applied for benefits? And I was told that they won't identify particular employees, union, organizations or employers that have applied for benefits. I kind of followed back up to say, "Well, will you tell me if you have a certain number of applicants that you're certainly working through right now to try and process?" I'm waiting for some more specifics on that, and hopefully I'll have that before my article is published this afternoon at the Center Square Washington page. But Elizabeth New, who heads up the Center for Worker Rights at Washington Policy Center, has been digging into this. She recently put up a blog. I'm going to link that in my article today as well. But here's a little bit of my conversation with Elizabeth New.
Because the legislation passed that allows striking workers to collect unemployment benefits that are meant for workers who lose work through no fault of their own. So far, between January 1 and July 15, I think they've had 142 striking workers take advantage. So more than $500,000 has left the fund for striking workers, not people who've lost their jobs. They're saying it does allow employees to be on strike longer to try to have their demands met. And that's the thing. When this debate was going on in the legislature, supporters of the new law were saying this will be rarely used. It's not going to make strikes longer. So that's clearly not the case. You have people on the picket line today saying this will help me stay on strike longer. That's what it's doing. And one of the really concerning parts about this is our UI fund has a solvency trigger in it. If it falls below a certain amount, you charge employers more, they get a higher tax. And right now, we're already eyeing that solvency trigger next September.
So as she referenced there, state projections for benefit payouts are outpacing what's coming in from employer tax collections. So this fund could, in short order here, really be in some serious trouble. So then what do? Jack up the tax higher on employers, and then you've got an impact there, of course, because then do they hire fewer people? Do they lower wages? Providing fewer opportunities for workers overall. Again, hope to find out some additional information about how many more people employment security is processing right now for unemployment benefits, workers who've gone out on strike. So we'll have any updated information in today's article up at our Center Square Washington page. I encourage you to check that out. That's a wrap on today's episode of Washington in Focus Daily for this Monday, August the 10th. As always, thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Like and subscribe, and feel free to comment. We appreciate all of that. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Tuesday.